freedom so close I can taste it. It is right through that door. But now I've looked Havis Corvair in the eye, and I feel these pulls, ties to this world. I've left so many to death and destruction, but never an entire world. I don't think I can do it. Which leaves only one option. I'll have to save this world before I leave it forever. One way or another. All right, Dungeon Dads, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yes.
Heroes rise, heroes fall. I see them on the front line, standing tall. They're risking life and limb to answer the call. But what they fighting for? Don't know, don't care. Just along for the ride, but everyone must end. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna win inside.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. As always, I'm your DM, Tom Blaylock. You're listening to Dungeon Dads. Every war must end. I'm joined, as ever, by John Watson playing Ionis Silheavy. And what's up, John?
I am super excited. I don't know what's going to happen.
You and me both. I should have prepared a little bit more. I'm going to let the magic take us, though. Tim Carr playing Filnyr Omajira. What's up, Tim?
What's going on? I'm going to have to get back to my cuckoo.
Yeah. No, I can't wait.
That was so awesome.
It was so good. It was so good. And I have one. Well, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Save it for the pod. Oh, wait.
I'll just say it for the rest of the pod. Yeah. And finally, Sam Frank playing Schnobik the Bastard. What's up, Sam?
I got the magic in me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, fellas, this is, I don't know. This is like, we are in endgame territory now. I think you know it. I know it. I feel it. Last episode, you put up the hut, you got your rest in the mine where Abel died, and after a long conversation with Griggly about Helspeth and Havis, and I think you've kind of exhausted and extended beyond his knowledge now, which I think is a very interesting position to be in. Schnobik called Havis Corvair to come, and he was, I think, everything that was promised, and maybe a rarity in this world that we have been building together. Like, this was not a guy who's not a bad guy. This is a bad dude. And
Tom finally committing to evil.
Finally committing to it. And I mean, the one thing I'll say is, like, you know, what's a guy going to do who's conceived by an illithid? And you know, so he does have his own.
He was born under a bad sign.
He was born in a bad sign. He has his own issues to overcome. The only thing I will say is that I think, hopefully, from that interaction you had with him, you realize that it's not the illithid nature in him that is making him do this. It is the sort of unbridled power and understanding of the way all of these things interlock that has made him, I mean, a little bit insane, I think. A little bit like, it's hard for him to acknowledge that anyone that doesn't sort of see the weave the way that he does, it's like beyond not respecting them. He sees the bigger picture, and it's very hard to understand the pixelated version of all of these, like, thinking
It has
creatures.
destroyed his perception of the value of this plane and everyone in it.
That's right. So we left last time after Schnobik told James to attack, and he bit into him, and it was quickly apparent that this was just a clay golem. And I think we should pick up right there. James rips into this golem, bites into it. He begins to recoil, and the golem disintegrates on the ground. And as the golem is disintegrating into dust, you hear the voice of Havis Corvair say, "Enter the Van Tunan, if you dare. I care not."
James, put that down. That is not nutritious.
"Oh, master, it's very bad. It's very bad. I've heard
Spit
of
it out. Spit it out, James.
I've heard of very recent vampire born wanting to eat dirt, and this has got to be worse than that. Oh, master. What was that, master?"
It was a trick.
As his voice faded, I could feel the clay. It just disappeared. Look, it's not even a pile on the ground. It's but a few handfuls.
Yes, we will have to find him where he lives and burn his house down.
Well, James can handle a little bit of cooking, I guess.
Yes, James. Imagine it. We will have wanton slaughter, and
Ugh.
people will praise us as heroes for it.
I do not care about being a hero, but I look forward to the wanton.
You have to admit it would be nice, James.
Well, I do remember when I was on the battlefield and the men were behind me and were cheering me on, and I was ripping people limb to limb. It was nice to slake both of my favorite things.
Do you think we have it in us to do one more good thing?
You should not even ask me. I do what you want, as you know.
Indeed.
Well, I am happy of one thing. Havis is an asshole.
Indeed.
That's
Indeed.
one of the first times that I've like, damn, he needs to die.
Meta question. When we killed Havis before, his belongings remained on our plane and he vanished? Or I know we did like the whole Obi-Wan thing, so...
That's right. His things that he had with him all fell to the ground.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he actually had multiple iterations of this because he actually turned into the Illithid in front of your eyes, and when he did that, the light armor, the studded leather armor that he was wearing, sort of morphed into a robe, and what was left was a robe, not
Got it. Okay.
not the armor. Yes.
Right. So that was more of an illusion.
Yes.
Yeah. A facade or whatever. Okay. Yeah. I'm just thinking about our options and what happens if.
Yeah. But none of that happened here. He was
No,
not
I know.
there.
I know.
Yeah. He was not there this time.
This is about what happens next, Tom.
Yes. Okay.
This is if we don't
I'm
go through the
loath
door.
to admit it, but I believe we could make use of some allies. And there's only one I can think of at this point who's powerful enough to aid us and who will almost assuredly be willing.
Snowpick, I think I'm tired of your choice of allies.
Then tell me who else can help us but the pyromancer Helspeth.
I still don't believe that's a good idea. She and Griggly are just as much to blame as anyone else.
Yes, but she is the only one we know who is invested in keeping this world, and keeping it sound.
Is she? She's been lying to everyone. She could have told us that Havis was an Illithid. We could have dealt with it.
Yes, well, she was conflicted, clearly. But she is not conflicted about keeping him here and keeping this world intact.
Do we know that? I mean, let us not forget that they were lovers, right? That was the claim, that they was this sick mother-son. I can't.
We don't know what their relationship is. All we do know is that she is not giving us all the information she knows. We should confront her. I don't know if we need her help. I, personally, would like to go through that door and find out exactly what is controlling Filnyr so that we can get control of this whole realm. And then maybe find a way to get Filnyr out of this mess.
But aren't I controlling Filnyr?
Are
I am
you?
Filnyr.
Have you been controlling Filnyr? I've seen 2 times where you were not in control. 2.
Very well, then after you, brother.
I walk in.
Wait, we need the Robert Hark first.
Yeah, gotta have the Robert Hark. Yeah.
Well, how do I get it? It's not working. What did he say? Who has the Robert Hawk?
Who has the Robert Hark?
I think I do still.
I think you do. And he told you that so that you put it in, and then you actually it becomes a lever. You pull it down. No, you don't leave it in.
You don't leave it in.
Can't leave it in. You'll break it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you want to go in, Filnyr?
I think that might be the strangest thing I could ever imagine.
Yes.
Perhaps it is safe for Ionis to try first, and then he can come out after a few minutes. Stay out here.
Maybe we can call anything in there out.
If anything is in there, I would love to have it out. What, am I behaving cat-like?
No, these are the only tactics I know for drawing a skittish thing to me. Is it working?
I'm here, Master. That was very good. I was just there, and then I don't know. There was something in the way you did that.
Very good, James. And I sort of pat his bald head.
Yes, thank you.
All right, just put it in.
Don't leave it in.
No, I will not leave it in. Very well. And I'll pull out the Robert Hark and look at it and look at where it goes. And Filnyr kind of has like a cold sweat in this moment. Steels himself and just puts it in there, feels it click into place, and says, Ionis, are you ready?
Ready.
If I don't do this now, I don't know if I will. And I pull it down and then pull it out.
So as you pull it down, the actual pressure of pulling it down moves the door in the exact amount straight down that the Robert Hark lever sort of moves.
Mm-hmm.
But you can feel once it moves that much, it's going quick. It's sort of like, it took a lot of force to pull it. And then now it's like this stone is falling. And so you really quickly pull it out, and the thing just thuds down, and then you see that it sort of rises back up a little bit. And now the door, which just like fell, and is obviously a multi-ton door. I mean, we're talking 10 tons at least thick, 3 to 4 feet thick of stone. It looks like it's sort of bouncing almost. It's like kind of bobbing a little bit up and down at the bottom of the thing, almost like it's floating at the bottom.
But it's not rising and closing itself back up.
No, it's sort of like you heard it hit the bottom, and now it's almost like there's magnets on the bottom and the top that are like polarized against each other, and now it's like finding its equilibrium, but it's like it's moving a lot, but it's half an inch up and down, but it's like not slowing down. It's like really, it's moving, and if you touch no one's touched it yet, but if you do touch it, you'll be able to move the door down to the bottom, and then it will pop back up. Not all the way up, just an inch at the bottom.
Okay. So I can't step over it yet?
You can. It's basically like just a threshold now. And it is total darkness in this room. You
I
can
draw
see
my sweet lady.
nothing.
Do I see anything? looking through it?
God, devil sight.
Uh-huh.
Give me a perception check. It's not just dark. I'll tell you that much.
I mean, I got a
give-
range of 120 feet for what that's
Okay,
worth.
well, you'll see everything that's here. Give me a perception check. God damn it. Okay.
23.
Okay. All right. Good enough. No, it was a 25. No. So even though it's crazy dark in here, it's the same kind of darkness that is created with your what is the spell that you cast at the Hunger of Hadar?
Mm-hmm.
It is that kind of darkness and concealment.
Okay.
What do your elf eyes see?
Inside, you see, you don't see any creatures. You just see you don't see a floor or a ground in this area at all. Like there's nothing there.
Like it maybe looks like it goes down.
Like that would be a reasonable assumption if this was a reasonable place. There's also no ceiling or up, and there doesn't seem to be any walls at all. But there is a station, and the station is a seat with two large furry globes where hands would be like armrests, but the
Jesus.
globes themselves like extend down probably 8 feet. This is like a 4-foot radius globe, either one of them, and they are they sort of sandwich this small chair. Yeah, it's
So there's
perfect
a
size for
small
you.
chair pointing straight up, and then there's two hairy globes on either side of it.
Yes, that's about right.
Yeah, good imagery there. Good imagery. Ionis, I don't see anyone in there.
What do you see? I see nothing.
Yes, it is dark. I think you will be okay. There is a station. How many feet down? Say 40, 50 feet down?
Yeah, that sounds right. Straight in.
If you walk in about 40, 50 feet, I think it is, there's a place for you to sit. And what Griggly said was, remember, like in the cave, the controls you put your hands in, they think they are furry, hairy, perhaps.
You've got to be joking.
It wouldn't be unlike me, but in this case, I'm not.
I'm going to. Saber is going to appear in front of me,
Okay.
and he's going to walk into the darkness, and I'm going to put my senses in him to see what happens to him.
So, I have not thought
Does
about
he stand
this.
on anything?
I have not thought about this, John.
Does Saber get to control Filnyr?
So, no. Well, kind of. So Saber appears in front of you, walks the 5 feet to the door. Your senses are still in him. And how far do your senses go? 100 feet? 120 feet?
100 feet.
100 feet. And so you can't sense where you are. Is that right? Like you are 100% in him.
He's like
Right.
blind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
blind as Ionis. I am Saber walking into something.
Okay. Saber walks in, and you are immediately in a small forest grove, and there is a delicious smelling fruit. It smells like a mango that is rotting, but through Saber's senses, it smells absolutely delicious. About 4 feet inside this grove. And Saber turns around to look, and like it's just forest grove all around you.
So I say to the guys, probably too loud because I don't think I can.
So you're going
see
to get
we're
out
here.
of Saber's. You're going to
Well,
go
I'm
out
going
of
to say
Saber's.
I'm going to say it first. I'm going to say, I appear to be in some form of grove or something.
Ionis, shh.
What?
Echoes. You're yelling.
I appear. I don't know where. Hold on. And I get out of Saber and I come back in.
Wait, before you get out of Saber. All right, so Filnyr and Schnobik and James, you see Ionis brings up Saber. Saber walks to the front door, stops. About 30 seconds later, Ionis says, "Gentlemen, I see a forest grove, and I see a fruit that is rotting." And you get out of the senses, and Saber is standing at the door.
Oh, shit. I could have sworn that he had walked straight through.
Yes, I could have sworn doors could not go into my brain.
So, say, what happened? What did you see?
Filnyr, did you feel any kind of tickle?
No.
Did Saber walk in?
Did we see him actually cross the threshold? No, we didn't,
No.
right, Tom?
He did not cross. He stepped on the door. His face moved a little bit in the room, but not enough to obscure his face at all. So he did not disappear into the darkness at all.
Right. No, he did not pass the edge.
Damn it. I walk in.
Okay. The moment that you walk in, you are in a library, and there are people milling about all over the place, and they are all reading a book, and it looks like it's the same book. All of them sort of have it's got a blue and purple cover with gold fringe all around it and a gold locking mechanism to lock it. They all are walking around with this. These are, lots of different races of people. The room is the library room is a sort of a grand hall, like a church's nave, and the bookshelves go up, and you can see the bookshelves are full of this purple and blue and gold book.
I try to pick one up.
Yeah, it says the life and times of Ionis Silhavind.
What are we seeing on the outside?
All right, I'll give it to you in 1 second.
I try to open it.
Yeah, so the very first page, it's almost like it's written like you speak. And the very first page says, "When I was a lad, I had no idea what true power was." And then it goes on, and you sort of flip through, and it's like an embellished version, it seems, of events that happened in your life. But it's even there's a chapter on killing a young a young hand aide in an alehouse. So there are things that you have recently found out that are in this book, and you begin to flip through. Give me an Arcana check.
27.
So you notice that like every chapter is actually, the chapters are set up, and like the first chapter is called the first chapter after the introduction is called Skywrite, and it's a story about, and that one's a story of like of you as in your first great adventure, and it ends with essentially explaining to young wizards how to cast that spell and how to bend it to their own abilities. And so each chapter is sort of laid out like all the spells that you have ever known. So you have basically written this book as a book of magic that is, as you're reading this, you're like, you imagine that you could have learned everything you know from this book. It is super impressive. Like you are impressed with whatever version of you wrote this book, and like you are like really super self-satisfied, and you start to really get into this book. Outside of the cave, Ionis, you explain to him what happened with Saber, and he steps toward the door and he stops.
How long should we give him?
Do I feel anything, Tom?
So you feel something now. Low in the base of your skull. You probably would have. It's sort of like if someone says there's mosquitoes all over the place here, like you suddenly everything itches.
Yeah, right.
Like it's sort of hard to know if there's actually a warmth in the back of your brain, or if it's just that you just found out that there's a stone in the back of your brain that that is also this room. But so you kind of feel that you sense that that there's something different.
It's only been a moment. Let's give him some time. I think I can feel where he is. Curious.
As I'm reading the book, can I look up and see? I kind of laughed to myself. I saw what happened to Saber, and I'm seeing now a book that I probably wrote. So essentially, it seems to me like Saber and I are viewing our best selves, or versions of our best life. Is there a doorway that I could walk through? Is there a way to push on?
The nave is really long. You are in the middle of this place. So both going north or going south, you walked in you were walking straight in, and as you were walking now, it's like you're just, let's call it north. You're continuing to walk north when you see all these people, but behind you, 5 feet, 10 feet is not a door. It is just libraries behind you. It's like you appeared in the middle of this library.
Okay. But if I kept going forward, is there a door?
Yeah. I mean, it looks like you're walking toward the front of the library.
How far away is it?
50 feet, 60 feet. I mean, it's a long nave, but it's not a giant library. It's big. It's big enough. It's for these times, this number of books, there's no one in Monterre that has this number of books.
Sure. Can I cast magic?
I don't know.
I would like to will myself to the door.
Okay. Using what magic?
Misty Step.
Yeah. You can cast Misty Step as normal. And you go 30 feet
30
forward?
Feet. Yeah, 30 feet.
30 feet forward, and you appear, and there's 4 or 5 people that are near where you land, and they turn to you, and one of them says, "Ooh, chapter 6 already? Wonderful. Wonderful.
I know this book is amazing, is it not?
The great Silver Wind would be proud of you, I'm sure. I'm certain of it."
I just laugh and shake my head, look at the floor, and try to push forward past the guy, pat him on the shoulder.
Yeah.
I try to walk through the door.
Yeah, so you get to the door. You don't walk through it, you have to open it, and I'm assuming you do.
I will open the door.
It blinks black outside of this for a half second, and then you're looking out at a seaside town, and you're up on a small hill looking down on a harbor that's probably a quarter of a mile away from you down this hill. It does not look like Monterre. It does not look like any city you've ever been in. But you're in the middle of a town, a major thriving town.
And then what happens outside of me?
Outside of you?
What
do you mean?
do Filnyr and Schnobik see?
Well, you don't get to know that. I should probably make this silent. I should probably mute myself. All right.
I don't know, Filnyr. He's been in there for quite a while.
I'm gonna.
How long has it been?
It's been about 2 minutes.
Yeah, because time is 2 minutes. Slow inside, right?
That's yeah.
I am gonna say
look
this.
Look at his face. How is his expression? Is it pain?
I'm gonna try to speak to them.
Okay.
I'm just gonna out loud. I'm just gonna say, "All right, I I was in a room with books, and now I appear to be in some city that I don't recognize. Are you seeing anything? I'm trying to move forward, but something is stopping me.
And this gentleman stops and looks at you and goes, "Oh, goodness, good sir. You should not read the chapter on teleportation before you have gone through chapters 17 through 37. Shall I dispel you, sir?"
Dispel me.
Okay.
Whoa, wait, no.
and he begins to cast at you.
I'm going to counterspell that. Stop.
Oh,
What are you doing?
good gracious.
No,
sir.
what, dispel me? What do you mean dispel me? What's happening? Where am I?
In what manner do you ask that question? What do you mean, sir? Where are you? You are outside the library. The Great Silverwind Library.
Sure. What city is this?
What city? Are you serious? Are you japing?
I am not.
This is the great city of Amn. Of course.
I just look around. All right. But you said you wanted to dispel me. What do you mean by that?
Well, I figured you were like one of the other looky-loos who go into the library and begin to read ahead and do all manner of terrible things to themselves. You must go in order. That is the rule in Amn. We all learn the great Silverwind magic, but we must go in order. You cannot jump ahead.
So I read the book in its entirety and then use the magics in the book.
Were you not orientated?
Of course I was. I just am a quick studier and I get bored.
One of them, I suppose. Well, back into the library then.
I walk back into the library.
Wait, don't go back into the library like that. You must walk backwards.
What?
You must walk backwards, boy.
No, forget you. And I push forward. Now I'm pissed off.
Okay. All right. So you get back in the library. People are still reading. Now you see that there people are doing things. There, like someone is like fire bolting under a table, and a few people are cheering. Like it's very much like a court, like a royal court feeling in this place.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Everyone's testing out magics.
Sounds like a trade show of
Yeah.
chapters. Oh, this is the firebolt table.
It's sort of like in Mary Shelley's time, what's his name, Galvini, it would go around with dead bodies and would like electrocute them and show all the like onlookers that you could make. You could using electricity. Yes, you could reanimate things, and so it's sort of it has the feel of like people who have recently been exposed to this and are testing out everything. Yes, it's very much edutainment.
Heavy on the tainment. Yeah.
Yes. So back in the cave, Ionis is still. He is almost like he's paralyzed here in the door.
And none of the feelings have changed for Filnyr.
It doesn't. If anything, it's getting a little stronger. You're now feeling like you weren't just imagining it.
All right. And I sit down and I begin to cast a spell.
Okay.
Cast sending.
Oh, smart. Okay.
Damned third level spell slots.
Yeah, John, keep track of your spells. You are actually casting those spells.
I am checking them off.
Yeah.
Have you tried
I'm gonna
talking to
send
him first?
a message to Ionis. And I say,
Ionis! Can you hear me?
You are still at the threshold. Tell us how long we can pull you now, or tell us how long to give you.
So you hear that, Ionis.
Okay. How long is it? I wouldn't be able to tell. Is there anything weird about how he's saying it? Does it sound slower?
No,
Okay.
it doesn't sound slower at all. You hear it in your mind crystal clear.
Okay.
You recognize that it's Schnobik's voice and everything.
Yeah.
Should have said how long it's been from our perspective, but I didn't think about that before I sent the package.
I just say, I just look around in total confusion, and knowing that I need to talk to my comrades, I can respond to this, and I just say, pull me back now.
All right, and I grab him by the collar and I pull him away from the.
Okay, yeah, you grab him by the collar for sure. All right, when you touch Ionis, you are now standing in the middle of a
shit.
of a small court of Monteran nobles, and what's his name? He's your friend. He's your friend who was the boat captain.
My friend or Ionis's friend?
Ionis's boat captain who helped you at the
Water's End?
End of the world. Yeah, Water's End. Yeah, he was not a Demerode, I don't believe. When so you're standing in the middle of this court room clearly in Monterre, and
wait, a court room or a courtroom?
A courtly room. It is a reading room, and this young man who is standing in front of you is sort of reading a document, and it says, to the King of Monterre and all of the Gilbrain, we happily gift you these 100 horses, along with the 2 boats that carried them here from Adair City. Thank you, Schnobik, for your continued leadership.
Is Ionis here?
Ionis is not here.
God damn it.
I did find the name Taryn Wassenbeck, by the way.
Taryn Wassenbeck. That's it. Thank you. That's it.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, Taryn Wassenbeck. Yeah, Taryn Wassenbeck is also in this room, and he has ribbons.
Wait, didn't I play Taryn Wassenbeck?
You did. He has ribbons everywhere all over him.
Good God, man.
From great victories on east and west rivers of surrounding Monterre.
I look at myself. Am I still wearing all my same clothes? Same.
You are not. You are definitely wearing
Good question.
Royal garb of the old Monterre. You are dressed like Ionis's father.
Well, clearly we have both stumbled into the same defense mechanism.
I'm sorry, sir. What was that? Would you like me to respond? This is Taryn Wassenbeck. Would you like me to respond to this, to the great Prince of Adair and his gift for you?
Wassenbeck, is that you?
But of course, sir.
I would expect even a spirit of Wassenbeck conjured by some magics would know I have never trusted a single good thing that has happened to me.
Huzzah, sir. Good one. Yes, so shall I?
Just silence. Just give me silence for a moment.
The king needs silence, everyone. Bow your heads. No, continue silent. No, sir, stop it.
So here's my quandary, Wassenbeck. I have limited magical energies, and yet it shouldn't be too long before Ionis realizes that he is not being pulled out, and then perhaps he will send to me. Shall we wait for a moment?
Your Majesty, would you like me to respond? I apologize. It sounded
it was a rhetorical question, Wassenbeck. It was meant for other listening ears far beyond this plane.
Interesting. And like everyone in this room is like a little bit freaked out, but also they clearly know you well enough to recognize that like they should not fuck with you when you say outlandish things.
Am I still a vampire?
You can check your fangs.
Yeah.
No, you are not a vampire. In fact, you feel the blood in your heart, and you feel all the things.
Bold yet accurate insight into Schnobik's psyche.
So, are we still waiting?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Very well. I will tell Queen Luatul to continue waiting. She is at tea, and she was expecting you, sir.
Yeah. Yes. Please do not bring her here.
But of course.
Can you think of anything that would make my time waiting less comfortable?
Sir, this is not really. I am, as you know, I am one who takes my pleasure straight up.
I do not wish to be seduced by this vision, and yet it seems I must abide here for a moment.
Shall we get the rock chair?
No, that won't be necessary unless a longer stay seems inevitable.
Very well. With me. Yes, you, General, too. Yes, all of us. And they all turn to you and they walk out the door backwards. So, Filnyr, you see, you hear Schnobik decide he's going to pull his brother back out, and he puts his hand on his shoulder, and then he's just standing there.
And do I see anything different inside the room past them?
No.
So, I think that was just good manners, but we've now had two people tell us to walk backwards.
Yeah, right. Picking up on it.
I'm gonna try a spell you guys haven't heard me use before, which is message, which also lets you reply in a whisper. And so I'm gonna point my finger at Ionis, and just ask, "Are you okay? Can you get out? Tell me if you want to leave. You can reply."
And you hear that, Ionis.
Good.
Is Filnyr going to try to pull us both?
Well, I do want to leave, but not to worry. Schnobik is... I'm waiting for Schnobik to grab me now.
And you hear that, Filnyr.
Well, it's a cantrip, so I'll just cast it again.
Yeah. I'll let you have a full conversation doing this.
What's,
this is fine.
What's the range? Because the range on that is just
120
feet. Creature within
120
range, and it's like a whisper back and forth. Schnobik has gone in after you, but he has stopped, much as your body has out here.
Shit. All right. Well, Filnyr, it appears that we are... Well, it may be happening to Schnobik as well, but it appears that we are essentially living our lives as if we are ascended out of the Gilbrain.
Old boy, are you now doing communication with a god? Are you on divination now? You are quite far advanced.
Did I skip too far? I'm sorry. I apologize. Let me start at the beginning. And I look around and I hang my head down and I walk backwards to where I started.
Yeah. So you walk right back out the door, and you are with Filnyr, and Schnobik remains with his hand where it was, and he is solid. He is not moving.
Ionis, how did you just get yourself out? What should I tell Schnobik?
Oh, I walked backwards. Someone told me to do it. I thought it was ridiculous and I ignored it. But now that you're telling me that Schnobik is stuck,
look,
I had to think
you
of
can
something.
see standing there at the precipice.
All right. Can you do? Was it difficult for you to speak to me?
No, not at all.
Can you do that to him? It's more difficult if I do it.
Were in my brain.
It was weird. It was weird.
I look forward to hearing about it, and then I'll message to Schnobik. Schnobik, Ionis has walked himself backwards to get out. You might do the same if you are interested in leaving.
Well, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I'd do it.
All right,
I walk
and you-
backwards out the door.
And you walk back out, and you have left the door. And Ionis, you still have the book in your hand.
Whoa, the book that I had?
Whoa.
Holy shit. I looked
Well,
down and I
I-
said, oh, Filnyr,
What is that?
This was
What is-
when I walked in, I ended up in a library, and this was the book everyone was reading. Look at it. Look at it. I wrote it. Look. I hand it to Filnyr.
What does it look like to me?
It is a book. It is gobbledygook. Like, you can't make anything out of anything on any of the pages, but it is a book, and the pages do flip, and you can see that there are like occasionally drawings.
Is it
that are
like
in
wizard gobbledygook?
Wizard gobbledygook. Yeah, but it's like, but there are there's diagrams of things to do with your hands and things like that. So that it's real. It looks real, and
Right.
some of it looks like what Ionis does, but it's like almost like it's in a language that you've never seen before.
Ionis, can you read this?
It looks like a spell book. Is this yours?
Again, I wrote it. Hand it over.
I hand it back.
I look at it. Can I read it?
As it was, it's like, yeah, you can. It's narrative. It's stories of your life. Some of them are total bullshit. Again, like it's the same. It's the same book.
What is the content?
This is I've essentially done what I would do if I were to retire from the adventuring life.
You've written a memoir.
I wrote a memoir. This is a book about me and what I've done, and then it explains the
nonsense.
spells. It's not nonsense. What?
Pictures of hands and formulas that don't,
Well, it shows
mean
people how to cast my
anything.
spells.
I suppose.
What is the final chapter?
I flip to the final chapter.
This is the end.
This
My
chapter
only
is
friend.
just titled "When You Wish Upon a Star."
Oh, look. I get 9th level spells. I get 9th level spells.
It's a fantasy.
Clearly, we have wandered into some magical defense mechanism. I would not trust anything that came from that place.
Well,
Schnubik, what did you see?
Hold a moment.
What are you?
May I examine the book?
I hand Schnubik the book.
Okay, it's. I mean, you don't have like, what's the word? Comprehend languages or.
I draw my sword and I smash my remaining hilt gem, which is the scroll comprehend languages.
So tell me this. Riddle me this, vampire man.
Mm-hmm.
When you are using comprehend languages, this is fucking awesome. Can you tell what language it is, or is it just like suddenly filter to your brain as though you understand it?
It's the goo from Quantum Mania, bro.
Let me see.
The ooze. Drink the ooze.
That's right, baby.
For the duration, you understand the literal meaning of any spoken language that you hear. You also understand any written language that you see, but you must be touching the surface on which the words are written. It takes about 1 minute to read 1 page of text. The spell doesn't decode secret messages in a text or a glyph, such as an arcane sigil that isn't part of a written language. So it does not necessarily tell me what language it is written in.
Okay, you can now
But
read
I can
this.
understand it.
You can read it. You can read it. It's as Ionis explained.
It is real, and it is apparently written in a comprehensible language. Otherwise, I would not be able to read it now if it were merely some figment of your fantasy.
Yeah, the chapter that you have turned to is a chapter titled, "When You're Handling the Pot, Wear Gloves, or else you might burn your hands."
So I'm just going to flip through the book looking for any mention of my name.
Okay.
The first thing you do is Google yourself.
Yeah.
Ionis, are we just going to stand here and let him touch these pages for minutes at a time?
Hold a moment. It is vital that I verify that this is actual knowledge and not some...
A minute a page while he's touching it.
Yeah, right.
Some
love that.
arcane trickery.
Yeah, I mean,
Ionis, did Quigley say how to close the door?
I think we have to take out the Robert Hawk and That it could.
No, it's out. It's out. I didn't leave it in. I wasn't supposed to.
I thought you were still holding it.
You should get Saber back in case the door shuts. I mean, I suppose he'd be fine.
I wasn't.
Is Saber still stuck?
Yeah.
I am going to go put my senses into him, and then I'm going to convince him to walk backwards.
All right, listen. This is a really big lift. Like, I don't know how you control these guys, really. Like,
I'm not controlling him. I'm just suggesting.
and he's like a muskrat, right?
Yeah, but he listens.
So-
He's actually
He's
a
a
celestial.
mongoose,
He's a
man.
celestial,
Come
and he's
on
a
now.
mongoose. But he's a spirit.
I'm
He's
just
not an
fucking with
animal.
you.
He's a spirit.
Okay. All right.
Can't you just bamf him out?
I could, but I just want to not do anything
Yeah.
spellcasty yet.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to give you a mental animal handling check. So I'll let you use intelligence. Do you have animal handling as a proficiency?
No.
All right, so it's a straight in
he's
check.
not an animal. He's a spirit. That's why
Okay.
I don't have animal
A
handling.
mental spirit handling check.
Which check
Are
is
you
that?
proficient in spirit handling?
Yeah. Yes. This spirit. No,
Okay.
I mean, I you want me to do animal handling?
I'll let you do Arcana.
Okay.
I'll let you do Arcana.
17.
Yeah, so he backs around and looks up at you, and God help you, he looks disappointed in you.
That's it. Yes, well, I know there's a puzzle that I need to figure out, but
And he's got a piece of rotten fruit in his mouth.
All right. Well, Ionis, I don't really want to sit here for another 10 minutes.
well, wait
Schnobik,
a minute.
how-
Wait a minute. When I walked out of the library, they said I was in a place called Amn.
You were an
That's what they said.
That's where the sword exists.
Is that in the same realm as Waterdeep?
Do I know this? Do we know this?
Yes, you know this. You know that Amn is where the sword is. You know that they are definitely in the same plane that is in Faerun.
It is, Ionis. Yes.
Here's what I believe. I believe that whatever magic surrounds this room, if we try to enter it, creates a world for us that is reflective of our most shallow and facile desires. And yet, and here's what I want to know, flipping through the book. I don't know enough to understand any of the magics, but sort of
Well,
the
like burning
memoir,
hands. Burning hands is exactly
sure,
right.
Sure. But in the portions of the book that would be past where Ionis's life is now,
Yes.
does it seem like anything really bad happened?
So, you know, when you wish upon a star,
Mm-hmm.
you know, obviously you don't have time to read the whole thing. It takes you a minute per page. So I'm guessing you're doing the super skim.
skimming.
Yeah, you're doing the super like light cover. The story is he reshaped the world with it and can no longer cast this spell. And there's no mention of why one would need to reshape a world.
And was it a heroic feat
Yes.
with a fittingly bittersweet ending?
Yes.
Well, it's written by me.
Yes. It is very much in his voice.
To Saber, it was woodland and rotten fruit. To you, it is fame and great exploits and the folk of the world hungry for your knowledge. For me, it was comfort in the underdark with my beloved. And yet, if your desire was to know these magics, and if this magic is strong enough, I do not know why in conjuring your desire it would not conjure the real thing. I do not believe you are really in Amn any more than I was really in the Underdark.
You were in the Underdark.
Yes.
Insight check.
Fuck you.
Okay. Deception
14.
versus insight.
Deception. Okay, here. My deception is a -1.
Nice.
14.
Oh, wow. What the fuck?
Roll again.
Wait, we roll it again?
Roll
Okay.
again.
I thought it ambiguous. Okay.
It's ambiguous. It's going to be ambiguous, but I need to see.
12.
16.
All right.
Okay. So it's super hard to read him, Ionis,
Of course it is. I have a very blank affect.
but so you don't know if he's telling the truth. But you're really tuned into him, and he seems different. Give me a perception check.
This is going to be worse. 13.
His skin is darker than it was when he first went in.
Oh, shit. Everybody brings back something. Schnobik, do you mind?
Mind what?
I'm going to gently turn his hand.
I pull back,
I'm gonna
but
just.
then I sort of let him do it.
I'm gonna turn his hand upward, and I'm gonna feel his pulse on his wrist.
Give me a medicine check.
What's going on? You had a book. You were in a library. Schnobik, you were in the Underdark? Did you grab anything while you were there?
9.
It's hard to find a vein in him. And it's not surprising that it's hard to find a vein in him.
Yeah.
I touched nothing and took nothing, as all cautious people should.
But he's not cold.
Can I? I don't know if this is even a thing. Can I look at his chest?
I mean, he's got
He's
armor.
wearing armor.
Yeah, but is it moving? Is he breathing?
Hard with a medicine check of 9. I mean, I'm just like maybe he's breathing, maybe he's not breathing.
Well, I mean, maybe vampires breathe. I just don't know.
Ionis, what are you looking for?
Maybe nothing. We all came back with something, and I don't know.
Oh.
My brother seems to.
I will also say I'm actually not wearing armor, but
Oh, you're not.
My brother has a flicker of fire about him.
no. Well, I'm wearing mage armor.
Oh, right.
I'm just going to say, well, Schnobik, I understand what you're saying, but Havis Corvair said that we could go in this room and ascend. And the minute we went in this room, we were transported to a place that we would have gone had we ascended. What if we were just simply shown the future?
Yes, but I was not teleported to a place outside of this realm, as you were. I believe it was a fantasy. Nothing more, and I caution against being seduced by it. I think this is something we must overcome.
I think Filnyr's going to keep looking at the door.
Yeah.
Curiosity pulling on him.
Perception check for you. Actually, wait. What's your
Passive?
passive? Yeah.
16.
Oh God, that's really high. Someone's moving up behind you.
From the door? No, from the cave.
From behind you, yeah.
Who goes there? And I'll turn around.
James is like really close to you.
What? James, what?
He says, "You smell good, and I want to eat you."
Schnobik.
James.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
I saw that
Filnyr.
coming a mile away.
Filnyr to me now!
John and I
Filnyr goes invisible.
at the same time realize what's going on.
All right, fuck.
Wait, I want to try something. James, retreat a few steps. You're crowding Filnyr.
Just like a moment. James does not think he will retreat.
I'm going to squeeze his brain.
Are you?
James disappears.
God damn it.
Sorry, wait. I apologize. James begins to cast something.
Yeah. Yeah. Counterspell.
Okay. What level?
4th.
All right. Give me a roll.
All right.
DC 17.
DC 17. DC 17.
As soon as he was like, he's brown, I was like, oh shit, he's not a vampire. Oh
God
shit,
damn.
that means
That did not occur to me. I was so happy for my brother.
All right, hold up.
Was that the reaction you were hoping for, Tom?
I'm so excited.
I don't know how it could have been better. John and I went simultaneous.
He just
shit!
James about to lose control, and he thinks he likes it. Oh God,
James is.
Oh God, this is bad news. That's right. We got it.
So
Hold on. You said
I'm
intelligence.
going to tell you, he is counterspelling you also, but he's doing it at 3rd level.
Okay.
So do
he
you want
has
me
to roll.
He's
I
got to
still have
roll,
to
and
roll.
you're going to roll.
Wait,
But
he has
to roll the
first,
counterspell.
right?
He has to roll the counterspell. My counterspell, but I can't counterspell because he's casting a 7th level spell, right?
Yes.
Right.
And so I'm going to counterspell first.
Yeah, last in, first out, right?
Yeah,
So-
that's
Wait,
right.
what
That's
level
right.
were you casting counterspell at?
4th. So
4th.
DC 14.
So he is casting it as 3rd level, so he has to get its DC 14
Mm-hmm.
and 12. All right, he fails.
Okay.
So
Jesus.
now-
So now I've got to counterspell the teleport or whatever he's doing. I don't know what the hell he's doing.
Oh man, I never put another counterspell in my ring.
21.
Yes. Yes.
Fuck. It fizzles out, and we're in initiative.
All right.
He has slipped my control. We must kill him immediately.
This is Tom
He's
loves
been
this.
waiting for this.
He's like, get him out of their pocket.
No
11.
pity.
Where the fuck is it? There it goes.
James got to go.
17 for Filnyr.
Woo.
Okay.
And I don't know if you heard me. I did say Filnyr goes invisible, but I don't know if I got that
Yep,
off.
I heard it. I heard
Okay.
it.
16.
Okay. All right. All right. So here's what happened. Saber goes to the door, stuck. Ionis goes to the door, stuck. Schnobik touches the shoulder of his brother, stuck. Ionis walks backwards. Schnobik walks backwards. Saber walks backwards. You have a book. You have darker skin that's warm, and now Jesus is standing right behind Filnyr and has murder in his eyes, but also fear because he has realized that he is not getting away as easy as he thought. And Filnyr, it is your turn.
All right.
Let us pray to God he does not have another clone prepared.
You would know if you had a clone prepared.
I would hope so.
I mean, did you do that?
No.
We didn't have
Okay.
we haven't had
I mean,
120
I
days anyway.
did not instruct him to create a clone.
Okay. All right.
I also don't know. You can only create one clone at a time.
No.
You can create other clones, but it's weird because only one will take form.
Mm-hmm.
But they also need
and I
120
think-
days.
Yeah, there was another clone. You're good. You're good on
Okay.
this.
All right. So I'm invisible, and I don't recall if he has blindside or not, but I am going to attack him. Do I get advantage? Yes.
You have. Let's see. I think he does have. No, he doesn't. He does not have blind sight.
Okay. So I get advantage on this. Oh yeah, baby. Natural 20.
Holy
That's so
shit.
fucked.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Oh. I was actually going to do something different, and now that I got this crit, I was going to use the Faust curse of the. You know what? I'm going to do that because I think it's going to help us because it's going to hold him. So if we recall, we're going to go way, way back in pod episodes
Awesome.
to when Tom gave me Faust's curse of the routing smite.
Where?
Yeah. He has. I'm going to do 5d4 extra damage times 2 because it's a crit. So 10d4 additional on top of my damage, but then he has to make a wisdom saving throw, DC 18, or he sees me as a 100-foot tall godlike creature and becomes frightened of me and can only grovel and say, please don't hurt me, great one. And he has to waste his action trying to make more wisdom saves at the end of his turn.
His turn. Okay.
Yeah. So this will hold him for a bit, hopefully. All right. So let me get my dice roller here. This is for the crit. 28 plus 5, so 33 plus. Oh, I don't even have enough d4, so I'm just going to have to roll them a bunch of times.
10d4.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. So
Slot machine.
Another 22 damage, and that's just the first hit.
Oh my god.
Wow.
So should he make his wisdom save now?
Yeah, he's going
Yes.
to make his wisdom save now. All right. Wait, let me check this here. What's the DC on it?
18.
Okay. So he failed, but he is going to use legendary resistance to not fail that.
Okay.
You got him back, huh?
Yes.
All right. And then I have my second swing, but I don't have a bonus action anymore. So straight roll here because I am visible now.
All right.
19.
Let's see. Oh, he doesn't have his reaction because he counterspelled. Is that right?
That's true.
Fuck, that's a hit. Fuck.
Another 19 damage.
Jeez. Oh my god. You know, I was not rooting for him, but now that I'm like actually in initiative, like I want him to kill you guys. and like if you do the math here, like he has just been hit for was it 70
33, 55 plus 19, so 74 damage.
74 damage. One round. That's
One turn.
one turn. That's fucked up. All right. Okay. Schnobik.
And my goddamn thing didn't work.
It's all good, Filnyr. I think it's all good.
I think we're going to be okay.
Master, I realize something weird happened. I'm back to myself now.
Fucking
Master.
liar.
No, Master, he has knocked me back into myself. I apologize. I don't know what happened. Maybe when you went in there, I was different realm, and I felt like you were not maybe my master anymore. But now I do, and now I know you're very much master.
Wait, not his turn and way more than 6 a.m.
master.
I can feel the connections. Ionis, can you conjure water? And that's all, pretty much all I've gotten. And then I'm going to I draw my lady.
Oh, wait a second. At the end of wait a second. Before you get to draw your lady or anything, I forgot.
He gets legendary actions when he's not on our team.
I believe he does.
But he never used them when he was on our team.
Well, you didn't. Don't. It's fine. It's
Schnobik wasn't micromanaging enough.
It's fine. So he is casting, and no one is going to counterspell this. I don't think.
No one can.
I can't.
I don't have it.
Okay.
Never
You
put it back in the
all
ring.
are gonna take. All right. He disappears, and there's this
stupid thunderstorm.
this explosion happens, and it envelops all of you. Saber is dead or disappears. Sippersuckle Honeydew was not out, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, not out. So
Gone now.
gone now. So it's a DC 17 Constitution save.
Filnyr got a 6.
Yes.
25.
Okay. So you're gonna take half of it. 21 damage. So you'll take 10 if you save, and 21 if you don't.
Is it worth using a reaction to shave some of that off? Wait, how much if we save?
If you save, it's 10.
I don't think it's worth a first level spell.
What kind of
slot
damage is
for-
it? It's thunder damage?
Thunder damage. I don't
Oh
think.
no, you know
Yeah,
what?
you can't.
I'm going to use my reaction for absorb elements,
Okay.
which I also now have.
Does absorb
Yes.
elements take care of
It gives me resistance.
to thunder?
Yes, thunder, and then I have that on my next swing.
Okay. All right.
All right, I got a 16, so I'll take the full 21.
Acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna do the same. So I'm taking 5.
Okay.
But well,
Half of a half.
Half of half.
I'll eat this one. I won't eat the next one.
He's and he reappears 100 feet toward kind of
is there
gotta be
100
90
feet
feet.
of room in this
90,
cave?
90 feet.
Is there 90 feet of room in this?
It's
cave?
sort of like an angle, like you're at an angle, and he gets in the hallway that goes up that had remember the elevator thing. You guys, I want to say this. You're in the same place now where Abel was killed. I just want to make everyone remember that this is the place. Maybe you want to let him go because there's a lot of bad memories here. I don't know if you want to.
It is my turn now.
It's your turn. Yeah. Yep.
Okay, I'm checking one more thing. Okay. I am going to dash towards him 60 feet,
Okay.
and then I will use my once per day Misty Step
Fuck. You're gonna get
to
to
close the last 30. I'm going to open my hand to unleash the Darkness Pebble.
Okay.
And then I'm going to action surge.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Fuck this motherfucker in particular.
Now the question is 3 attacks or booming blade. I'm gonna go 3 attacks because this guy doesn't run away. He thunder steps away.
Yeah.
So attack. Oh, and then I also get a 1d6 thunder on top of this. On top of this first one, right? For absorb elements, it's just the next attack. First attack. 30.
That's a hit.
Okay, and this is with Frostbrand. So that's going to be 12 piercing and 1 cold plus 4 thunder. So that's 17 altogether.
Oh, Master, I'm telling you, I'm back. I'm back. I'm your James.
You're a dangerous animal and you must be put down. Natural 1.
Oh,
God damn.
that's a
he
miss.
got to me. He got to me.
Oh,
His pleadings.
One more. Just one more. One more miss.
14. I'm going to use a luck point.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
27.
Yes.
Oh, God. That hits.
Oh, these should all be with advantage. I forgot. Oh, no. Does he have?
He does not have blind sight. We just
He
talked
doesn't
He
about
does
have
not have
blind
blind
sight.
sight too.
So really, that luck point, if you roll a 12 and a 14, that's one roll.
Don't
Mhm.
worry about it. Just
12 damage.
yeah. How do you finish him?
I sink Bezlith Luital deep into his heart. And then, but I'm very concerned about what will happen now.
Yeah, you should be.
Because he is not mortal. He is a vampire.
He's going to turn to mist.
Which
We
is
didn't
why
give
I
him the
needed
water.
Ionis to put him in some running water.
Wait, what
but
about the
he-
water?
Catch up! Catch up! Not catch up water! Yeah, and I don't know any way to get sunlight down here.
Yeah. I mean, there is a way, but you don't know. You weren't in it.
Yeah, no, he wasn't in it. How long do we have?
But here's the thing. Either way, it buys us some time. And by the time he gets back to his grave and reconstitutes himself, this may all be a moot point.
Does he have a grave?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, did you
For
guys
sure.
even put that together?
We never set that up.
Yeah.
I feel like Snowbick would have done it.
But Snowbick knows where it is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I do
Yeah.
know where it is.
Yeah.
James, we deal with you another day. And I sink Bezleth deep into his non-pumping veins.
Yeah. And it's just like you see him
What if you leave it in?
it sinks in and it surprises him how quickly this all happened. And you know him well enough. You know, like that he begins to turn to smoke, fog, and you can make out the last little bit of his face and his voice, and he says, "This is so interesting. I don't even need a clone master."
And I
And
blow it away.
It floats away.
All right.
Ugh.
Before that happens,
We have no time to spare. Oh.
before that happens, can I get to a furry ball?
May reach in your pants.
I mean, it is.
Or sorry, your robes. Sorry, pardon me.
Yeah.
I start digging around in my robes for a furry ball. No, one of those orbs that the
Yeah.
Alhoon used to use.
I mean, the closest one to you is over close to where James has just been sunk, has had the thing sunk into him. And
There is one nearby.
So how far?
Yeah.
How far away is he?
I mean,
You said
the
90
furry ball
feet?
is probably the furry ball is probably 110 feet away. Yeah.
All right, but you said James teleported 90 feet, and he got okay. It's fine. I'm gonna cast Watery Sphere on the mist.
All right. It's a good thought.
What does Watery Sphere do for those of us?
It is a sphere of water that is it has a 5-foot radius, so 10 feet across, and it traps whatever my target is inside it. And when the minute Snowbick says cast water, I remember that I can cast this, and it just swirls around in a circle. So it's running water. It's a sphere of it, and I want to encase encase the smoke, the mist inside of it.
All right,
And it's
let
a
me
90
think about
foot.
this.
The range is 90 feet.
I mean, unless that water's at equilibrium, it's definitely moving inside. I don't know how forcefully it's moving inside.
Let's see. This is a hard one. So, okay. So here's the
there are two separate questions here,
yes.
which is, does the Watery Sphere count as running water? and from
Right.
what I can see here, I don't know.
I don't
Then
I mean
the other thing is, can a Watery Sphere restrain mist?
so I think the answer to the second question is the only one that matters for me,
Mhm.
because the Misty Escape, which is a vampire feature,
Would have been prevented by the running water. He's
Would have been-
already done it.
but he's already done it,
Uh-huh,
right?
uh-huh.
So I think it's a really good idea, and I appreciate the use of resources more than you know. Really good idea. There is a very good chance that he cannot make it back to his grave within 2 hours. So, I mean, this is what you, I mean, and Shinobic would also know that as well. He is many miles away from his grave, and I don't believe he can cast.
Gaseous form is slow too.
Yes, it's
Like,
slow.
I would say he's days away.
Yeah. So I think
Like, this campaign is going to be done before.
yes. I don't, and he only has 2 hours to get to it, or he's destroyed.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Oh, I
Misty
didn't know that.
Escape
Okay.
doesn't last.
I didn't
So
know that. I didn't know that either.
I think, James, bye bye. I think he's dead.
Pour one out for James.
Yeah.
We hated that bastard. And I kept him around way longer than necessary.
So you sink this in, and then, but here's the problem. Ionis casts watery sphere around you while you're holding Bezleth.
Oh, jeez.
But
But he's not a vampire.
I wouldn't.
it only affects you the way water would affect a normal person, or way watery sphere would affect you, which is to say...
So this is your proof.
Yeah.
Get me out of this.
God damn. I dispel it.
He will not trouble us. We have larger things to consider.
Snowbick.
And I
Snowbick,
start
stop.
tromping back to the door.
Stop, Snowbick.
We don't have time for this, Ionis.
You lost control. Did the water affect you at all?
We don't have time for this, Ionis.
Do you have fangs?
And I walk over to the door.
Just touch it with your tongue. Come on, answer the man.
I walk over to the door, and I think about how what I most want in this entire world is to find out what is controlling Filnyr. I focus all of my mind and my intention and my emotion on it. This is the thing that I want most in my life, is to confront the thing that is inside his brain.
All right.
And I step through the door.
Okay. You step through, and you're back in the throne room.
Fuck.
and your dear friend, the admiral of the Navy. Oh God, what's his name?
Wassenbeck.
Wassenbeck is standing at the door, and he says, "Good gracious, Your Majesty, I didn't see you, and now I couldn't hold her back anymore." And the doors slam open, and Bezleth Lultul comes in, and she's carrying 2 babies on her breasts, and she walks in and she says, "Schnobik, you cannot hide in here with your generals and your admirals. The ladies are here for tea, and you are expected to join." And thus ends episode 93. Every War Must End at the Dads podcast.
What a turn. What a turn.
Wow. So many problems solved in one episode.
And yet new ones created.
Damn.
Oh,
Man, I barely got to play crazy.
I know. I'm so sorry. I had something else totally ready for you. Like, I was ready for you to go in more than
Next
anybody
time,
else.
Maybe next time.
Well, that's, I mean, we have been led to believe that's like crossing the streams.
Right,
I mean,
right.
Yes.
That seems like something only desperate men do.
Exactly.
Or crazy ones.
We're getting there, though.
You told me you were going to go in, and I was like, really?
I was
Really?
thinking about it.
And
Getting
then,
that pull.
yeah. So I'm...
And it would be funny if you hear a large detonation. This has been Every War Must End from the Dungeon Dog.
It's almost
Thank
89,
you guys
right?
for coming along with us on this journey. It's been a great few years.
Yeah. You walk
This
in,
brain will self-destruct.
and it's so weird because you look down and you realize you're a drug dealer, and you've just walked into a bodega, and a small child stands there with a gun next to your face. This is the end of. If you're not remembering, this is the end of. That's how I want Filnyr to go.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Nice. Spoilers for the
Spoilers,
Seriously.
fellas.
bonus time. Bonus
I
time.
can't
Bonus
wait
time.
to listen
Yeah,
to this.
we're going to
again.
go to the bonus. Tim, cut that spoiler, and we'll see you guys back in a couple of weeks.
The spoiler's just going to be beep.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
walk into a bodega, beep. And
This
then
is the end of
and
beep.
beep, beep. And this is the end of beep. Spoilers for the beep.
All right, we got a lot to talk about. If you want to hear us talk about it on the bonus, subscribe to the Patreon because it's awesome.
Patreon.com/DungeonDads.
All right, later on. Toodaloo.
Toodaloo.
Are you looking for a D&D podcast with a dark side? Something more like Game of Thrones and less like Monty Python? Tale of the Manticore is part dark fantasy audio drama, part solo D&D RPG. There's no plot armor here. The dice make all the important decisions. Join me as I resurrect the excitement, wonder, and emotion of old school D&D. Made for a mature audience, Tale of the Manticore is both a fiction and a game. It's the story where chaos rolls.